the Dallas Cowboys when they show up here for the season finale in Washington against the Commanders.
Yes.
There's not going to be any taking plays off. There's not going to be any second and third stringers or practice squad elevated players. Yeah, you're going to get Dak, CD. You're going to get all those guys, firing on all cylinders. Micah Parsons is going to be just the disruptive force that we know that he is in every single game.
Yep.
He'll probably have multiple sacks, multiple pressures of Sam Howell.
They're not resting players
No.
for the playoffs. I mean, the only guys who are not playing are guys who have injuries. So Dallas is taking this game. They basically said this starts the playoffs.
Right.
This week starts the playoffs for us against Washington.
Yeah, and a big difference, obviously, is their roster has Pro Bowl players, and as we learned over the last few days, the Commanders have zero Pro Bowl players. And in a tweet from Grant Paulson, obviously from Grant and Danny, that he put out on January 3rd, was that 2 days ago? He said, it's amazing how poor the player acquisition results were during the 4 years of this front office's tenure. 1 Pro Bowl appearance from 34 draft picks. 0 Pro Bowl appearances from all of their free agent additions. Staggering to go through the moves and look at the hit rate. The rapidly approaching GM hire is the whole ball game. And if you're a Commanders fan, that is something that you have to be looking forward to. You have to be looking forward to the new GM, the new staff coming in, and doing a better job of not only drafting players, but also going out on the free agent market and scouting and signing the correct players to fit the system of the new coach.
Right. I mean, Matt, the Niners had 9 Pro Bowlers in the NFC. Now, I get the Pro Bowl isn't what – it doesn't matter.
Pro Bowl's a farce.
Because they don't actually play a game
it's just
anymore.
An honor,
Just an honor.
And it's also indicative of the talent level on your roster.
I mean, 20 years ago, it was a big deal because they would play a game. But, a lot of guys will check out and they won't even go.
Right.
But still, to be named to the Pro Bowl is a big deal.
Sure.
And, certainly there's incentives and contracts for players. But 9 for San Francisco. I think what did the Ravens have, 6 or 7?
I believe they had 7.
7, yeah. A couple other teams had, 6 or 7. But Washington, zippy. And
it's not even this 1 year. It's
Right.
the 4 years that he
I know.
was here. 1 Pro Bowler, Chase's rookie year.
That was
what
it.
it was?
Yep.
I mean,
That's almost hard to do.
You couldn't do that if you tried.
That's all. Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to do when you have that many guys on a roster and you're playing 17 games.
Right.
I mean,
like you have to stumble into at least 1 or 2, you would think.
yeah, yep.
Just by luck. I mean, just what it's just another stain on Ron Rivera's legacy. I mean, we always just tend to focus on the coaching side of it and look at the personnel side as kind of an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're not picking the right players and you're not finding the right guys in free agency, it's tough to win 10, 11, 12 ball games a year.
Yeah.
That's why I've always advocated that Ron has basically left this team as an expansion franchise.
Right.
There's not one single building block, I feel like.
No,
Right, and like Jason pointed out,
that's a good call. Yeah,
he's
That's a good call.
bookending his tenure with number 2 overall picks. Like that shouldn't be the way.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the way that you're leaving the roster.
No.
Especially when he steps in front of the mic and all he loves to talk about is, well, we can roster build. We're roster building.
And I understand the need for quarterback and how important the position is. And if you can get your guy, if he's there at 2, go for the swing.
Right.
And try and hit the home run. But that's why I'm not opposed to acquiring more picks.
Right.
Is that you have so many holes to fill on the roster.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what decisions the new management and new coaching staff makes in terms of what they want to do in the draft.
Well, I mean, they've already started acquiring extra picks by dealing away Sweat, dealing away Chase Young. I mean, that's already underway.
Yeah.
Like it's the accumulation has already begun. And I 99.9% of me thinks they're going to stand pat or move up 1 spot and pick a quarterback at either 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be shocked if they moved back like to 8 or 10 and didn't select a quarterback there. I'd really be stunned if that happened. But look, we know that how they favor analytics in a Josh Harris-led ownership group. Hiring of Eugene Shen from Baltimore proves that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll look at the numbers and will move back. But I still think they're going to take either Caleb Williams or Drake May
If they
or
stay at 2,
Jaden
yeah.
Daniels if they like him better with one of those top picks.
Yeah. And look, we of course we're going to blame Ron, and Ron and his staff did not do a good job.
Right.
They did a bad job.
Well, he deserves the blame because he's in charge.
He's in charge, but there are other people in that front office that are also helping to make decisions. They didn't do a good job.
You could make the argument that Ron's best personnel decision that he made was Heineke. Finding
It's certainly one of his top 2 or 3, if not the top move.
That's the feather in his cap.
Yes.
And as much as Heineke's a great story and he's a fringe NFL starter from his parents' couch, you need more from a player personnel perspective.
Definitely.
If Taylor Heineke is your
that's your headliner.
Yeah, that's your ace up your sleeve.
Yeah, after 4 years of doing
after
it?
4 years, Heineke's the ace up your sleeve.
Right.
You need to reevaluate what you're doing.
Right. Or just do something different.
Or never coach
I'd
again.
be shocked if he were named the head coach in the NFL again. Like if he wants to take a coordinator job, I think he would be offered that in a heartbeat. Or like if he wants to go to college and be a head coach at college, sure. But I'd be stunned if an NFL team looked at Ron's body of work, especially the last 4 years, said, I got to have that Ron Rivera. I got to have that spark plug for my team. And you know what? I'll give him personnel control too. That's certainly not happening. When you look at
he's
the
not getting the
lackluster-
job.
Yeah.
He's not. And I'm not hiring him in college. I mean, he's not going to be able to. He can't go out and recruit.
Well, I mean, I don't
there's
mean
no
like
way.
he'd be hired to coach at Ohio State. I mean,
In
like
small
maybe he
college.
takes over like a top 60, top 70 type program that needs a boost, that needs a big name.
MAC conference.
Something like that. Yeah,
I wouldn't even hire him in the MAC.
I could see him in that sort of role.
But the numbers don't lie. It's been really bad over the last 4 years. And you just kind of look at what they've done in the division. Just at the division.
Oh.
I mean, 0 for this year. And we'll see what happens on Sunday. But 2-3-1 last year. Year before they were 2-4 in the division.
Yep.
In his first year. Now, his first year, remember, Dak got hurt. The Cowboys would have won the division.
Right.
But Dak got hurt, I think, in week 4, week 5.
That was the Ben DiNucci show, I believe.
Ben DiNucci. And, of course, Washington won the division with a losing record, with 7-9 record. But they were 4-2. That's the only year they had a winning record.
Right.
Or even a 500 record in the division in Ron's tenure. So, it was bad.
Is Josh Harris going to wait until Monday to fire him? Or do we get a report like Sunday, like at 6 or 7 p.m., like as the 4 o'clock games are winding down?
I don't know,
that he's
Drabby.
let go.
Drabby was telling me, he's like, we all got to be here, all hands on deck on January 8th.
Right.
Because Ron could be fired. I don't think he'll be fired in the morning of January 8th. I don't think they're going to fire him at 8 a.m.
Right.
So
Maybe
I
like
think
noon, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I think they'll either fire him after the game, like Sunday night,
Okay.
or they're going to wait until Monday night. Who knows? Maybe they even wait till Tuesday. I don't know.
I think Jay was fired Monday morning.
Pretty
That was
early.
in the season, but a lot of the time those coaches are fired at like 6 a.m.
Right?
The
Okay.
next morning,
Like early?
They'll say, come in, we'll schedule a meeting.
Oh,
that
I'm
morning.
praying. Josh Harris, if you're listening or you get a hold of this on the Odyssey app,
Yeah.
please fire Ron at 5:59:50
Right.
Monday morning.
Or maybe 6:45, and then we can play the breaking news sounder.
yeah,
we can do that.
I want the whole four plus
Okay, all right,
hours.
all right.
So there-
5:59. Please call Ron into your office or just send him a text. however you're going to deliver the news.
There was even a rumor. I'm not saying this is true, but I was discussing with someone from the radio station that
Okay.
that Ron. It's even possible Ron would announce today that Sunday will be his last game,
Oh.
and there will be a mutual parting of ways.
Okay. I guess that's possible.
Well, I mean, Ron's only going to do that as long as he gets his bag of $7 million as his parting gift, right? Because he still has 1 year left
Well,
on
yeah,
his
maybe
deal.
they already worked it out.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh, yeah, he gets that.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's not
no
giving
way
up any
Ron's-
of that.
Yeah, well, why would you do that?
That's the beauty of coaching, NFL coaching contracts. They're all
Yes.
guaranteed,
Yep. It's fantastic.
unlike the players. But I guess that's possible, Drabby, that they could announce something tomorrow.
I guess we'll see. See how it all plays out.
But it's still just kind of looking back at just the Redskins history, Redskins / WFT / Commanders history since Dan Snyder and Josh Harris now have owned the teams. Five playoff appearances
Right.
total.
Yeah, it's been putrid. It's been awful.
And since 1999, they've been to the playoffs 5 times,
Yep.
and they've won one of those playoff games. I mean, that's hard to
It's a
do.
brutal last 30 years if you're a Commanders
has
fan.
been.
Yeah, it's been rough.
And Commanders fans are just hoping that Josh Harris and whoever comes in can hire the right people. They can put the right quarterback in place, draft the right guys, sign the right guys, and start getting better and start competing for playoff, chances year in, year out. Because 5 playoffs since 1999, that's hard to do.
That's gross.